Hi, my name is Fernandez, and today I'm going to discuss to you about the global financial crisis and the challenge to neoliberalism. What is global financial crisis? A global financial crisis assets prices a step decline in value. Businesses and consumers are unable to pay their debts, and financial institutions experience liquidity shortages. A financial crisis is often associated with a panic or a bank run during which investors sell of assets will withdraw money from saving accounts because they fear that the value of those assets will drop if they remain in a financial situation. Other situations that may be labeled a financial crisis include the bursting of a speculative financial bubble, a stock market crash, a sovereign default, or a currency crisis. A financial crisis may be limited to banks or spread throughout a single economy, the economy of a region, or economies worldwide. Neoliberalism is a contemporary use to refer the market-oriented reform policy such as eliminating price control, deregulation, capital markets, lowering trade barriers, and reducing, especially through privatization and austerity, state influence in the economy. Russia's case was the first one example of how the shock therapy of neoliberalism did not lead to the ideal outcomes predicted by the economists who believe in perfectly free markets. The greatest recent repudiation of this thinking was the recent global financial crisis of 2008 to 2009. Neoliberalism came under significant strain during the global financial crisis of 2007 to 2008, when the world experienced the greatest economic downturn since the Great Depression. The crisis can be traced back to 1980s when the United States systematically removed various banking and investment restrictions. The scaling back of regulation continued until the 2000s, paving the way for the brewing crisis. In their attempt to promote the free market, government authorities failed to regulate bad investments occurring in the United States housing market. Taking advantage of cheap housing loans, Americans began building houses that were beyond their financial capacities to mitigate the risk of the loans banks that were lending owners. Money pulled these mortgage payments and sold them as mortgage-backed security or MBS. One MBS would be a combination of multiple mortgages that they assume pay a steady rate. In 2007 to 2008, financial crisis began in a year with cheap credit and lax lending standard that fueled a housing bubble. When bubble burst, financial institutions were left holding trillions of dollars worth of near worthless investment in subprime mortgages. Millions of American house owners found themselves owning more on their mortgages than their homes were worth. There was so much surplus money circulating, the demands for MBS increased as investors clamored for more investment opportunities. In their haste to issue these loans, however, the banks became less discriminating. They began extending loans for families and individuals with dubious credit records to people who were unlikely to pay their loans back. These high-risk mortgages become known as subprime mortgages. The financial experts wrongly assume that even if many borrowers were individuals and families who would struggle to pay, a majority would not be default. Moreover, the banks thought that since there were so many mortgages in just one MBS, a few failures would not ruin the entirety of the investment. The banks also assumed that housing prices would continue to increase even if the homeowners defaulted on their loans. This bank could simply reacquire the homes and sell them at a higher price, turning a profit. In 2007, home prices stopped increasing as supply caught up with demands. It slowly became apparent that families could not pay off their loans. This realization triggered the rapid reselling at MBS as banks and investors tried to get rid of their bad investment. The crisis spread beyond United States since many investors were foreign governments, corporations, and individuals, affecting services like pensions, healthcare, and various forms of social security. These cuts have been felt most acutely by the poor. Moreover, the reduction of government spending has slowed down growth and ensured high level of unemployment. The United States recovered quickly because of the Keynesian-style stimulus package that the President Barack Obama pushed for his first months in office. The response of the government around the world has been aimed at stimulating their economies. And that's it all about the global financial crisis and a challenge to the neoliberalism. And I hope you like and you learned something from this video. Thank you and God bless.